This is the CGSULIT SC204 OBDII Scan Tool. Let's take it out of the package. In the package you get the user's manual, the USB cable for hooking it up to a computer if you so desire. There is no need to. Plugs in USB to a mini B connector, not a micro B connector. And here is the scan tool itself, along with the OBDII connector for your car. This is a basic scan tool. It's going to be able to read codes and erase codes. It'll give you live data and things like that. If you're not sure if this works with your car, check your owner's manual. If it says it is OBDII compliant, it will work. It's that simple. If you are planning on doing extensive maintenance to your car, if you have a BMW where the battery needs to be reset, this is not the scan tool for you. If you need to bleed brakes and you have ABS brakes on there and you need to open the valves in the ABS module, this is not the device for you. There are much more costly ones that will do what you need. This is a basic scan tool, and in most cases that is all you ever need. Doesn't do us much good here, so we're going to take this out to the car and I'll show you exactly what it can do for you. Just find the OBDII connector under your dash. If you don't know where it is, check your owner's manual, it'll tell you. And then you can go ahead and plug the tool in. Just like that. Very easy to operate, up and down. IM is your IM readiness monitors. We'll talk about that in a bit. And basically your no and yes button, if you will. So you can navigate the menu with the up and down buttons right there. We're going to press the yes button on the first item, and this is going to link to the car. So there we are, and it immediately shows us our MIL status right there. And now it asks if we want to clear the previous data, which is okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. And on this car, which is a 2007 Toyota Camry, you can test the engine and transmission modules. We'll go to the engine. And the first thing you can do is read codes. So we'll hit that. You have stored, pending, or permanent. Either which way, you can read all three. This car is a Toyota, like I said. There's no codes. And we can go back using the red button, like that. You can erase codes if it had them. And we can go and see the live data. That's important. We're going to get to that in a minute. First I want to show you the IM readiness. We'll go into that, and we can do the first one since DTC is cleared. That's diagnostic trouble codes, essentially a check engine light. MIL is malfunction indicator light, which otherwise is known as the dreaded check engine light. And it says that that is off, which is correct. There is no check engine light in this vehicle. MIS, misfire, it's okay. Fuel, okay. CCM, okay. CAT, okay. NA, in this case, as we see under HCAT, doesn't count. NA is not applicable. So you can read through these if you want, like that. And there's even more on the next page here. Why is this important? This is important because a lot of times if you have an older vehicle and your car has a persistent check engine light and you have state inspections, you're in the US and need to get your car inspected, it won't pass with that light on. So you can use this tool to reset the codes or erase the codes, as I had glossed over earlier. But the problem is these readiness monitors, the IM readiness monitors. And you have that IM button right there that you can just press to bring this screen up. So the idea is that if you have a car that is throwing the persistent P0420 code, catalytic converter not up to efficiency, then what you can do is reset that, and then you have to drive around. And you'll see a lot of these here will say INC instead of OK, INC for incomplete. And you keep driving around until you get them to say okay, and then go and get your car inspected. At that point you can pass, even if you have just one incomplete. You can't have any more than one, just one incomplete. You can get your car to pass and you're good for another year. Simple like that. We'll go back, and now we're going to take a look at the live data. This is going to be important here. So let's go into that, and we have view, record, or playback. We're just going to view it in this case, but yes, this can record the data and play it back later. You have a complete set, custom set, and the unit of measure. Let me go set a custom data set so you can see just for an example. Here are 4 pieces of data that I consider to be some of the most important. RPM, just obviously so you can see that, and I'll rev it up slightly and you can see how that changes just like that. Also note the spark advance changes when you rev it, because you have to advance the timing when the engine is revved up. But also take a look at the first 2 items. That stands for short-term fuel trim. That's bank 1, and the second one is bank 2. This has a V6 engine, so there's 2 banks of 3 cylinders. And take a look, we are reading pretty close to 0, which is what you want. If you're going to buy a car that is a used car, you can hook this tool up and check these parameters out. You want to see that these fuel trim numbers are as close to 0 as possible. 1.6 is nothing. 0.8 is nothing. If you're seeing 10, 15, stuff like that, you want to walk away because there's something awry in the fuel system like that. Let me show you some other data points in here. So taking a look at this screen here, TP% is the throttle position percentage. Runtime in seconds since I've started the engine, that's important to know. MIL dist in miles. How many miles have been driven with the malfunction indicator light or check engine light on? How many warm-ups the car has had since the check engine light data was last cleared? And that says 25, which is correct because I had recently replaced the battery in this vehicle just a few weeks ago, and it really doesn't get driven much, so that's about right. MIL time, so if you've had a check engine light on, it can tell you how long it has been on. And clear time says 11 hours and 2 minutes, and that probably is about right for the amount of runtime this engine has had. You have onboard monitor tests, and here you can see the EGR, exhaust gas recirculation monitor, bank 1 sensor 1, bank 1 sensor 2, bank 2 sensor 1, bank 2 sensor 2, catalyst monitor, catalytic converter, bank 1, bank 2, purge flow monitor, and we keep going, there's more pages here. EGR heater monitor, misfire data for all 6 cylinders. And one other thing I'll show you is that if you have a check engine light and you know the code already and you want to look it up and see, we can go to DTC lookup and it asks you to enter it in. So we'll put that P0420 in like that, and it says catalyst system efficiency below threshold, bank 1. That's the most common check engine light that you're going to have dealing with a catalytic converter. So you can type in whatever code you have. It could be P1135 or any number of other codes and read the information that's there. So like I said, there is a tremendous amount of information you can get out of this. A very basic scan tool. This one from CGSULIT is easy to use, nice big buttons, easy to operate, everything makes sense. You'll figure out the buttons and how it all operates in just a moment's time really, and can get you the information you need to find out what might be wrong with your car. Also great, you might have a check engine light and want to read that out. Now yes, you can go to your auto parts store, they can read it for you, but they can't clear it for you. And really, they're just there to sell you stuff, and probably sell you stuff that you don't need. So get a scan tool for yourself, check it yourself, clear it yourself, and sometimes you can clear that code and it may never come back. It may be just something stupid that happened, and this can clear it, and you didn't even have to go to the auto parts store and end up walking out with a set of spark plugs, a few jugs of coolant, and fuel system cleaner that you never needed in the first place. If you'd like to purchase this item, I'll leave a link in the video description where you can find the item available for sale on Amazon. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.